Yeah, and then Ryan came out and was like, "Dude, I thought you guys all knew." So, oh, hey, what's up, guys?
That's facts.
What's going on, everybody? 101
What's up, man?
interviews. I'm Steven. I'm here with Rich. Rich is my lately my right hand man, but he's more like my left hand man because I ain't got no left arm. My shoulder's jacked, and we're here with
Lefty.
Ryan Bosworth of Bozz's Card Shop on eBay
What
and
up?
of running insanely big cards on Facebook. Yeah. So what's going on, guys?
What up?
Just hanging out, waiting for delivery to get here.
Right on. What you got coming?
The overpaid for Tet Zebra.
See, Tet. No, that dude's a baller. I think he's undervalued.
No, 100%. And I guess my angle when I saw it is at first to market, got the guy talked down from 350 to what I paid for it, and I was comfortable with it. And from what I could see, going into what we're going to talk about, at least with the centering, don't know about surface and edges and corners, but the centering was spot on. And most of the zebras I've seen, they're bad.
Yeah, right on. All right. So before we start, I like to do a quick icebreaker. So, Boz, why is a manhole cover round?
Because the engineer couldn't get the square block through the square hole.
Actually, close. Rich, do you know?
I have no idea, dude.
It's because
No,
it
not
can't.
even a guess.
It can't fall in on itself.
This is true.
Hell yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
It's true.
This is true.
Yeah. So Ryan, I got a lot to ask you about. You do a lot of stuff on eBay, a lot of buying raw, grading and reselling, be it here or there. And I know I've picked your brain on a lot of stuff. You've actually helped me quite a bit get better at quickly looking at cards and dismissing bullshit off the rip, because I would fall victim to the what you would say the obvious, but to a guy like me was not the obvious. Also, what helped is getting glasses, but it goes a lot more into that. So when you look at a raw football card, especially online, but even at a card show, I mean, right off the rip, what determines whether you think it could potentially get graded or you're gonna sell it raw?
Seller's confidence when I ask questions. Like I said, like you said, I've been doing this with eBay buying probably about 6.5, 7 years. And I learned the hard way of what to look for and how I got screwed. And like you'll see a lot of posts where sellers put the cards on angles and they won't have like a straight heads-on shot of the card, and you can see the flaws. They'll hide it, or they keep it in the top loader, one touch, penny sleeve, to catch the glare of where the problem area is. And I know you and I have, you've showed me a couple of things, and I zoom in on the card or on the listing, and I, will screenshot it and be like, that's what it is. Buying raw, the big thing, if, me as a seller, if I'm not confident in the card and I'm trying to hide something and you message me and you go, hey, can I get pictures out of the top loader and the sleeve? And the seller don't do it, you've lost my interest. There's something that you're not telling the buyer.
Makes sense.
But, the easiest thing that you can see, obviously, is centering and edging, if you know what you're looking for. If it's a PC card, I have a little bit more forgiveness. I'll grab something that I can see has edge damage that I don't care about, and I'll still slab it just because I want to protect it.
Right. So I mean, is your goal basically to take raw cards and grade and then flip? Like, is that generally what you're looking for?
I mean, certain cards. I mean, you saw the gold tutties. Every object of that was to get a gem, and I got a gem, and I traded it for that CD rookie auto gold 2 out of 5. Sorry, Rich, I tried to get a hold of you, but I turned around and I sold that for, I think it was like $550. And either like, yeah, I paid an $800 optic box to get that gold tutties that I graded for 40, and it was a $400 card, and I sold it essentially for $550. I still lost, but I moved up into cutting out some of that red.
Sure.
Like the object of this game, in my opinion, if I'm holding, I'm holding, but if I'm trying to make a profit off a hobby box, I'm trying to get as close to even as possible. If I can get, in the black, cool. But if I can cut some of my losses, I'm also cool with that. But I'm a ripping addict. You and I both know that.
Yeah. Do you do more of buying hobby or buying singles?
Lately, hobby. The last 30, 40 days, hobby. Just because it's the end, just because we know $18,000. Thanks,
Shit.
gambling.
Fuck.
Rich,
Dude,
Rich,
I'm trying to tell you, Rich.
Hold on.
Rich, if you saw my gambling spreadsheet from the month of February, no,
It'd probably be close to mine. It would probably be close to mine, I promise. Mine's pretty bad.
For the longest time, when it came to buying boxes and wax, I was naive to it. Everybody's like, oh, blasters, Donruss, Optic Select. Yes, you can hit cases out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, dude, I spent probably $4,000 on Prizm blasters. Best card I got out of it was a Bonix
You're talking
variation.
about, yeah. So we're talking about being in the retail space versus hobby right now.
Yeah, and it took me learning that you're an idiot and you can only hit certain things. Like you're not going to get, an out of 15 or an out of 20 out of a Prizm blaster to kind of double down. And, if I'm going to spend, $1,500, $1,600, I'm at least going to get something out of it. And like this year, Optic, case hit, Optic, Gold Travis Hunter, Prizm, 2 case hits out of 7 boxes from 2 different cases. I got real lucky.
Yeah. On the other hand, there's me, where no matter what I buy.
So, like, I bought cases last year, and I spent a lot, and I'm learning that if the odds of you getting a case hit, you need 3/4 of a case at the minimum. You don't need to buy the full 12 because it's only one. So on me, logically, my brain says, if I can up the odds without spending all of it, I'm going to split it across 2 separate orders, pull from 2 separate cases. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Do you keep that same logic when you do play in lines and flashes?
Kind of. I mean, at lines, like, I got lucky. I hit that Josh Allen buyback, which you called me a not so nice word.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, that was Olsen's. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was. Whoa.
So, like, I don't play in a lot of lines. Like, for me, it's not necessarily wanting to have a card that I want to flip. Like, when it comes to lines, I want cards that I'm going to hold on to. Or get a $700 buyback and get called cuss words by Steve.
That's me.
But
Rich,
for me, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so Rich, you on the other hand play in a whole lot of lines and flashes. So are you a guy that will grab a bunch of spots, or you grab a spot in a bunch?
I mean, it depends on how much the spot is. If it's a 100 spotter, I try to grab 10. You got a 10% chance, right? But it all depends on how much. Like yesterday, I bought into a Pokemon 100 spotter and I grabbed 10 spots. But then I jumped in football and grabbed 2 or 3. I mean, really, it kind of depends on how bad I want the card, on how many spots I'm gonna take. And I mean, sometimes you look at who's in it, not gonna lie, hey, this
Mhm.
guy wins a lot, so I know I'm gonna lose. So I'll take a few spots,
Yeah,
I'll
he's
take
sitting
a
right
few
there.
spots. Right. I'll take a few spots instead of taking a bunch. But I don't know, man. I think it's how juiced you are on how at the moment how much you think you're gonna win. That's all it
Yeah.
goes back to is in your mind, I got this one won. So I've seen some guys take half of the spots. It just depends.
Yeah, I just wondered, like, Boz, I was looking at that line you got up now, and you're under comps, so a guy could buy
The
half of
card
them.
or buy
Well,
all of it
you know what? That's a great point.
and then
Yeah.
reline and make 25 more percent.
Yeah, so it's a
So
guaranteed, fill. That's awesome, and I'm gonna guess, this is something you did on purpose, but and I try to do lines like that. I mean, I think that's given because let's face it, man, everybody is at least for this week a reseller,
mhm.
so but Boz, when you're jumping in, are you the guy just to I mean, I guess it depends. So say it's a card you want, um, and it's a 10 spotter, let's say it's 10 at 50,
God damn.
10 at 10.
There you go.
How many spots are you grabbing? This guy just
Uh,
bought 19 Prizm hobby boxes and he's talking about
No, no, no. I bought 7.
7.
I got two more in the mail for free because the distributor sent me damaged product. I got 4 Prizm no huddles that were garbage, and I remember why I don't buy them.
Fucking
yeah, they
little.
are. I love
And I
them, but
got
they are.
like I love the discos, but that's a
Yep.
product I'll buy. I need to stick to buying singles because
Buy the
that's another
singles,
product that doesn't have case hit in it. And I was just like,
100%.
I
Right.
Yep.
just so badly want a Cam Ward, number colored disco and call it a day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But for
Okay.
me, with if it's something I really want, like I'm a statistics guy, I'm a numbers guy. Math is the only thing that came easy to me. If it's 10 at 10 and I can swing 50, $60,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll take a shot at it. If it's something where, like you said, I'll buy all and it's under comp, I'll buy all 10 and flip it and make, 15, $20 off of it.
Yeah. Right on. Cool. So back to grading and stuff. So prior to the changes, I guess let's go back prior to PSA buying SGC. So we got PSA, SGC, and Beckett, separate entities. That's where we're at right now. How often were you choosing PSA versus any of the other grading companies?
Depending on what I'm grading.
Okay.
Um, like for me, if it's something I can wait for PSA, I'm gonna go PSA. If it's something where, SGC at the time was charging the last time I used them, I think it was like $15 and it was a 20-day turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
You know, spend 15, get it back in 4 weeks, be able to sell it before the market may dip. I'm into the card for, let's call it with the grading, $40. Going through SGC. Yeah, you know what? PSA is king, always has been. I'm not going to go any
Say
further
it.
than that,
Say it.
right? But always will be. Um, but if I can get my card back in 20 days, spend 40 and sell it for, let's say, 500, I could go with PSA, get it back in 14 weeks, and it might be a 10, it might not, and I might be able to sell it for 7. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather move. I'd rather get in, get out, make my money, and screw than wait to either be able to sell it for $150, $200 more, or it come back a 9 and I'm sitting at $400.
Wow. Fair.
I mean, realistically, I'm not chasing I mean, I did when I pulled that Jackson Dart, but like the run of the mill stuff that I have sitting on my shelf, I'll let it go. I'd rather have, easy money than all of it because I can make that easy money work again for me and I can double up again or add 25% or 30% and just, keep multiplying it.
You know. So now with PSA not only owning SGC but owning Beckett, and then they just dropped their recent price hike and turnaround times taking longer, has that altered your thought process on grading cards?
At least the avenue I'm going. Like right now, it's like we just started off season. So I mean the comps aren't going to go up or go down all too much because there's no performance to base it on. So where the hell is it? I have a stack somewhere. Regardless, like I got Garrett Wilson, rookie autos, and Brees Hall rookie autos, and stuff that I can move easily. I'm okay going PSA and waiting the 16 weeks just because of what the cards are. You know what I mean?
4 months.
That's crazy.
Almost a baby, or halfway to a baby.
Yeah, my 18-month-old will be 2.
Yeah, no shit. Let that sink in.
So here's my thing, right? Everybody's so caught up on I'm going to speak it verbatim exactly how I feel. Everybody's caught up on the holy shit big card, get it graded, expedite it, get it 10, get it gone. Like I have Cam Ward. I've probably got about $10,000 in Cam Ward from Mosaic, Prizm, Phoenix, just sitting in card savers, waiting to go. I don't care if it takes 5-6 months because the season is, over. I'll get it back maybe by August, September. Season's going to start. I'm good paying, whatever the lowest service that they offer.
Mm-hmm.
Certain cards, like I have a nice Dylan Gabriel Purple Power auto for you. I would expedite that just for you.
Nah, I appreciate that. Don't worry about it. He'll be on another team doing good by that time anyways.
Well, but what it comes down to is like everybody's, FOMO.
Yeah.
I'm going back to making money versus waiting and maybe losing. I consulted you. I consulted a couple of people about that Jackson Dart.
Mm-hmm.
All kind of had the same, you have the first one to market, get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
I could have expedited it for probably $200. Could have came back at 10. I could have sold it for, double what I did, but I sold it for 6 and bought more hobby boxes because I'm a degenerate.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like it. I get to live vicariously through you, so I appreciate that. Rich, what do you think about that? Like I know you don't do a ton of grading, but like, what's your thoughts on that? Like either wait and get the big payday or get paid now.
If it's fresh product, I'm not sending it unless it's expedited. Just because it's going to take a huge drop in that amount of time. I
Mm-hmm.
think like PC, like all day long, because you're not selling it, right? You're just trying to capsulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famers are safe because they're not really gonna take a huge turn one way or the other unless they just go out there and do some stupid shit,
Mm-hmm.
I just think the market's so fucking weird, man. And it's not that I don't trust PSA, it's that I don't trust the market because it moves so fucking fast, dude. Like
Right.
if they could take that turnaround time and even put it at 25 days, or 30 days, a month, let's say a month, I send out my card, it arrives to you guys within a month is back to me. Like to me, that's feasible because it may take a shift in that amount of time, but it's not going to take a big enough shift for me to lose my ass,
Sure.
but I get the concept. Like I've had friends that would buy whole cases and just rip the whole case, of blasters or whatever, and they wouldn't do it to sell the cards. They would do it just to grade the whole damn thing and then sell it.
Mhm.
I mean, from a business standpoint, grading does make sense. Um, but I guess the biggest thing, like if you're grading, if you're grading a lot and you're running a business like on eBay, like I think Ryan's doing,
Mhm.
is to make sure that you have enough product where if you are waiting, your pocket's not hurting. That would be my issue right now, is that if I started grading, I'm sending everything I fucking got. So what
Right.
do I do in the meantime? I have to go buy more, and then I'm gonna have a bill when that grading comes back. Um, and my other issue is, dude, I've spent, if I were to guess, probably $20,000-$30,000 in grading. And I may be exaggerating a little bit, but I did a whole lot of grading for a whole year. That's all I did, dude. I'd send out 20 at a time, 25 at a time, and it got to the point where PSA just wasn't consistent anymore. Like
Oh, shit.
I would get 110, I would get let's say 10 nines, and then I would get a card that looked perfect that was a fucking 6. Like, it got to where my gem rate was so bad, and it wasn't because of the cards, because the guy I was using them was great, dude. He was cleaning them. He used a humidor to bring out dents and shit like that. He's really good. It was just that their customer service just became shit. I guess it depends on what type of day the PSA person is having. Um,
Hmm.
Now if they could go to some kind of AI grading, or even someone who had a good eye, 100% of the time and not 50% of the time, then I
Yeah.
would probably use them more often, even if I knew I had to wait. Um,
Well, so that brings up a huge point, and something that we were talking about, me and a few guys, Johnny and Jared, on 101 Interviews page. The post, Ryan, where you said you're just here to watch.
Oh yeah.
Like, so they brought up tag, and tag is absolutely that, right? It's AI.
mhm.
And I've looked into it. I'm slightly hesitant, but Johnny told me that, um I'm paraphrasing, but there were a few, and I want to say they were Pokemon or TCG, but it might have been sports cards that have matched or outsold PSA 10s, tag 10s. And I'm like, holy shit. So, that is interesting. But I think, on the small sample size of the question that I asked, which was, PSA sucks fucking balls right now. Does that matter?
100%.
Does that
No,
matter? And the gist of the general consensus was, no,
people
we're
are
gonna
still
fucking
gonna grade.
we're gonna stay with the guy that beats me because we're used to it, and at least I know I have a car and a home.
It's battered wife syndrome.
100 fucking percent. But
So
with
like
that, good.
my last order I sent with them was, I think, 19 or 20 cards. 20 is usually my maximum. I got 4 10s or 5 10s, one of them being the Stafford. Like the ones that I needed to hit. The other ones, okay, like I'm salty. It was a 9. It was a number in Cam Ward. I'm a Titans guy. Like that one stung. But it's not a hobby anymore. It's a goddamn corrupt, crooked. Everybody's, sister cousins, and everybody's in bed together, and it's all about the dollar. PSA is going to say, "Hey, guess what? We're going to charge you, $600 to grade this Mahomes auto. Oh, you can't pay it? Oh, okay." And it goes back to, collectors owning Beckett now. Did that finalize? Because the last I knew, there was an FTC
Yeah,
block.
they own them.
Oh, it's done. They own everybody, dude. They own
Mm-hmm.
everybody important right now. And that's another thing. Like if you own everybody important, right? SGC, what's their lead time? 20 days?
Yeah, give or
25
take
days?
25 days for basic service.
So you go and you buy these fucking companies and then you extend your lead time, right? It's the same motherfucking company, dude. It's just a different subsidy of the company. So how
Yeah.
do you own Beckett, which is historically bad for lead times, right? Beckett's the
Mhm.
worst. Let's just be honest. But
Uh,
if you get that black, you're
Yeah.
great, great. And then SGC is quick, right? They're pretty quick on their times. And then PSA, the company that owns PSA, buys both of them, and their times get worse. Make that make sense, man. So it's a whole fucking conglomerate of fucking companies just basically just effing each other, you know?
Right. Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about, is what came up, because it is a little confusing, I guess. But like, so I fucking buy a raw card on eBay, and it fucking it, instead of coming to me, I can ship it right to PSA. They grade it. They hold it in their fucking, what's their vault, the PSA vault. And then when I sell it, it ships from there. I never touch it. Like, this is fucking weird, man. It's like, yeah, I buy silver, but I want to have the silver. It's like, dude, I love the idea of fucking crypto, but like, what about when the power goes out? Like, I want the shit in my hands. It's not the same, but it's the same. Like, I just never touch it. It's just weird to me.
It's almost a digital card.
My whole thing with the vault is, like you said, like, you know, I feel like if I hold something there and I leave it there, I forget about it, or somehow by the grace of God, you know, the power goes out and it's like, we can't find it.
Yeah, that would fucking be terrible. And I don't know I'm sure there's some sort of rules, but yeah, I don't know. So speaking of eBay, I was favoriting some cards on your eBay channel, and there is that Tomlinson there. So if any of you listeners want to go out and buy it for me, that's fucking awesome.
What is your eBay channel? I'm gonna log in. What is it?
I don't even know what it's.
Bozz's Card Shop.
Yeah,
It's all one word: BOZZSCARDSHOP.
Stalker.
Motherfucker, I got a memory. Ask these motherfuckers. I got a memory. I got a memory. I'm like the woman. I remember what you said April fucking May 88. I remember back then.
Yeah, I shit my diaper.
Fuck you. Fucking baby. I was already fucking getting in schoolyard fights then. Getting my ass kicked from here to Timbuktu.
I was about to say, don't get cocky on me now.
Anyways, we're going to have a charity fucking match. That's what we're going to do. We'll set it up. But so while he's logging in it,
what are you like, 5'6", 250?
I'm 6'1" and 250.
Okay.
I think it's fair. What are you, like fucking 8'3" and 180?
That's just my cock.
Fuck off. Yeah. So what types of football cards move the fastest on eBay in your store today? Like, what would you say?
See, it varies. You know, it depends on if you're talking auction or buy it now.
Fair. So let's go with auction.
I'm going to start with a 5-day auction. I don't mess with anything that's on there for more than 5. You have a 7-day auction, I'm not looking at it. I'm not favoriting it, because there's going to be too many people in too long of a time that are going to favorite it, and I'm not dealing with hey, you just got outbid. Like, I'm not putting a max value of like $400 on a $400 card so everybody can bid it up, and I'll still win it, but I'm not paying $380 for it. You know what I mean? Like taxes and all that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, eBay. Honestly, it's so volatile, because it's like, I watch Cam Ward religiously. That's my guy. I believe in him. Hopefully, you know, whatever. I know. Yeah. Hey, go Browns.
I ain't got no faith in him though.
Prizm is always going to be king. Prizm colored and numbers are always going to be king. Outside of
Prizm is always going to be king. Hey, Josh, did you hear that? Bosworth says Prizm will always be king. All right, carry on.
As far as eBay goes and selling, Prizm's always going to, it's king when it comes to Panini, at least for now. Just because the value is always there. I mean, Christ, May lost a Super Bowl. His Prizm Silvers are still going for $200-300.
Yeah.
You know, like, in my opinion, Prizm, Optic, they didn't make it this year, but Optic Contenders, they didn't make Spectra.
Right. They didn't.
They didn't make What else didn't they put out this year that usually sells?
Obsidian. Was it?
Obsidian.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're coming out with Prizm Black.
And honors, right?
Yeah, honors is their last ditch effort, and that's going to be a $15,000-$20,000 box.
That's fucking insanity. Well, did we see one in treasures? I don't remember.
We see
I don't think
National
so.
Treasures, right?
NT just dropped a couple days ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. But not Panini one? Or was that first earlier? Maybe it was.
Did
No,
we have
Panini
Panini
was,
one?
I think it was. Now that I think about it.
yeah, we did.
It was. It was. No,
Yeah.
we didn't, dude. No,
No,
hold on.
I think at the beginning it was
We
because
didn't
I
have.
hit.
They didn't have Color Burst this year. I don't remember seeing that.
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know,
thought I hit
dude.
Andy up.
I'm looking it up now.
I don't know. Anyways,
It's hard to see because people still rip, 2024
Yeah.
Panini one, and
Yeah.
Panini one comes out in flawless or immaculate, and
Yeah.
yeah. Honors will be dope. It's just so expensive.
for 4 cards.
Yeah. Well, black is what, 1 card, right?
No, black is a full deck.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a full 144.
Oh shit.
No 2025 football. Panini one. Not yet.
Yeah.
No shit. Man. Goddamn. I said Joe Montana.
It's just, like my whole big thing, especially with grading, is the QC.
Yeah.
I spent $1,000, multiple thousands on Prizm, and one of my numbered cards had the stamp from the card in front of it on the face. So like my card was 84 out of 99. It had you could see the little imprint of 83 out of 99.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, it was just how the embossed is got that metallic finish to it. It was just the finish. Buffed it out, no problem. Pissed the fuck off because I sold a Mosaic Derrick Henry gold 10 out of 10 for like $30 because it had the same goddamn problem. I could have fucking buffed it, and I think I did, but I don't remember. But
No shit.
I don't know.
So with that, and I don't know if this is something we should even talk about just because.
Fuck it, send it.
So what goes into prep and cleaning and stuff of cards? I'm not saying you do it. I'm saying when people do it.
I can't speak for everybody else because I know there are some people who will just send it raw because they're scared shit that it says on the website any alteration, any this, that, and the third evidence of manipulation. We're going to charge you, and you're not gonna get a grade on it.
Mm-hmm.
But me, magnifying glass, depending on the card, I'll spray a little bit of solution on a Q-tip and wipe it down, and get rid of the dirt before I start polishing. Buff, take a polishing cloth, get rid of the residue, look it back under a microscope, and see if what I saw the first time is still there, if I can get rid of it. A lot of people just don't do anything. They see and oh shit, looks good, centering's good. They don't know what they're looking for centering. They can't, it's not like 2023 Prizm where you can see clear as day on the front that it was a 70-30. And they just send it in.
Mm-hmm.
It took me about a year and a half, instead of just, people will send in what they want to 10, not what they think will 10. Or not, or 9 at this point, because 9s are becoming 10s, and 10s are becoming a fucking mythical unicorn.
Which is wild because in the summer, Raw was selling more than 9s for the hope that Raw would gem.
And I think it always will.
Yeah.
If it's not a numbered card, I take a chance on buying a 9 from like you or from Rich and getting it in my hands and cracking it and prepping it again and sending it off and see what happens. Because I mean, we've all seen the videos. Guy sends in a card, comes back a 6, he takes it out, does it again, comes back a 10.
So So this can be done. I mean, so again, it goes back to why does PSA have a stranglehold when we can get something that uses AI, tag, or even just fucking CGC's just not trashy, you know? They don't fucking own everything. They're not, you know, they're what, $15, and you don't even have, you just say it's a card and send it. You don't even got to fucking try to find which goddamn parallel it is. You know what I mean? And I don't remember what turnaround times are. Probably a month. You know, I'm sure it's not more than that. Why the fuck do we keep letting PSA fucking bend us over?
Because it's a business. It's not a hobby anymore. The
Oh,
status quo says PSA is king, and
who's the status quo?
the
We
entire
are.
hobby,
We
the
are.
entire hobby, the collector, the flipper, the grader, the prepper. It's that and we're all degenerate gamblers. But I've done SGC, like SGC on certain cards. I love the tuxedo.
Sure, me too.
Um, did your package come in, by the way? Not to
Nope.
get okay, yeah, it's whatever. Like I'm looking at the slabs and it's just like presentation wise, yeah, PSA is all right, but you know the 10 holds the value. When I look at SGC and certain cards, older cards, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s, the tuxedo is gorgeous.
For sure.
I'm starting to look at tag and tag and AGS and for those of you who are unfamiliar, it's another form of tag that hasn't been around as long. Um, for me, like when I look at my showcase, which is all stacked up on shit now because I am in the middle of remodeling down here. Um, how's it going to look when I walk into the room? That's just me. But like when it comes to flipping, if it like Rich, I got a card I got that Genesis Parsons debut mosaic. I don't know how it would look. It would look good in a tuxedo, and I know you're a PC guy, and I can sell it to you for just as much. But like taking it to a card show, it might sit there and nobody might, not do it. Or you have the investor who's like, hey, an SGC, I can buy it low, I can crack it and sub it. Um, that Bo Nix Prizm variation I sent to SGC because I just wanted to get it held up, so it didn't whatever. It was like $12, $13. Came back in either 9.5 or a 10. I sent it to PSA, got 10, and that's where she sits.
Hmm.
But you know, as far as like the status quo and people are always going to gamble until the day that it's like $50 a card. I send 10 cards and spend 500 and every single one of them come back in 8.
But it's $50 a card now when you factor in shipping.
Mm. I'm talking just for a grading point, like a grading price.
I don't know. It just, I guess, I don't know. Looking at from the perspective, let's say I decided I wanted to start buying raw cards and grading them and trying to make a profit. Man, that juice, I would have to do so much research to see, let's say I'm at $50 for grading a card with shipping and everything. I gotta be able to make that margin up. I don't know, man. It just seems wild to me.
So for me, like Rich, I know you said you did a lot of grading. Like, the first thing I do, like if I get a card, like I pull, like I have a Kim mosaic honeycomb sitting in front of me ready to go. Got it out of a mosaic blaster. I'm into the card for $30. First thing I'm doing is seeing what a PSA 9 goes for.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's do somebody's cooking Tostino's pizza rolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't care that I'm doing this. Just making all kinds of noise.
Tostino's pizza rolls, fuck.
But it's like, I look at the comp value for a PSA 9 and I look at a compound value for PSA 10, and I figure out, okay, worst case scenario. Before I even look at the card and start, putting it under a mag and looking to see if there's dents, scratches, dimples, corners are all fucked up. What's my minimum margin going to be? I can still hear the Tostino's pizza.
I'm muted.
I know. I still hear them. No, I'm just.
You're just hungry.
I'm a fat kid, dude. I'm on my cheat day. But like, can I afford to gamble and get a 9? Like, how? And also, it goes back to how long can I do it? Like the can that's sitting in front of me is probably going to go. I'm waiting to get my select before I decide what I'm going to put in for a sub, and if I'm going to go bulk and hold out, or what the hell happens if I pull like a Jackson Dart 101 black? But when it comes to like the human error, and going like with AGS or tag, I think tag is going to it eliminates the human factor. It eliminates human error, but at the same time, you could send something off that should be a PSA 8 and it comes back a 10. You know what I mean? Like the human error for PSA can swing in your favor too.
Sure, that's true.
I think AI is going to take over. PSA is going to be behind the curve because they already are when it comes to AI because they don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been talking to you about using Cardly.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. Do you know what that is, Rich?
I don't. I've never heard of it.
So Cardly AI, like all the what the hell's the name? Like Collex, and you can scan your card and put it into your inventory and your collection. Same thing, but they offer you take a picture of the front and the back, and it'll tell you through their algorithm what they think it's going to be. And I've been watching videos and reading reviews, and it says like, Cardly says it's going to be a 9.5, and it comes back a 10, depending on who you go to, because PSA don't do 9.5. Supposed to
be 10s either.
Yeah, well, we'll keep sending them in hopes. So it's like, it tells you 9.5. If you're going Beckett, could come back 9.5, could come back 10. So I think it's going to come down to, as a prepper, all right, boom, boom, front, back, take a picture. All right, is it worth me wasting, it doesn't take me long. It takes me maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, clean and prep. Is it worth doing? Or is it worth just putting in a top loader, putting it in an organized box and waiting for the season to come and sell the bits raw?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird to me. I thought that question that I proposed was interesting, but not surprising. I've got some, I know you don't get into TCG much, and I know Rich is starting to get into it. But I've got some stuff, and have it ready to send to CGC, but there's still a part of me. It's been ready for a couple days. Why haven't you sent it? And it's got to be PSA in the background, going, hey, dumbass, you're going to miss out on X amount of money. But I think it goes back to what you said earlier, like, money's money. I'm going to be in the positive regardless. Why am I effing it? I'm not keeping any of it. This is all to flip.
So with the wait times of PSA, right? Especially with TCG, so let me ask you this: what trumps CGC, you sending it to CGC over PSA?
The wait time and the cost.
Okay.
And I mean, Jesus, PSA is just awfully, I don't know. I guess and maybe it's just because they're king. I just don't see the videos from any other grading company about, I fucking cracked this 7, 8, and I got it a 10 back. I just don't see that with anybody else but PSA. So that's what trumps it. But mainly it's the time.
Well, this is, I just don't know enough about TCG, and I used to do Pokemon when I was a kid, except the collection went up in flames about 6 years ago.
Mm.
Um, Charizard's value, or whoever the whatever the card is that you have that you're sending in, isn't going to have a bad Sunday.
Right.
So if I was into TCG and I knew what I was doing, like I know football, PSA, regardless, PSA 910, I can afford it. If it's a 9, and awesome if it's a 10, but if a 9 comes back and I can unload it and still make money, cool. That 4 to 6 month wait time, I would gamble on it just because of the fact that, Charizard doesn't have a football game on Sunday. That's just pure population control. Because, like, oh my God, if Pokemon made a 1-on-1, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
football, you got 1-on-1s, 1-or-2s, 3s, 5s, 10s, it goes on
Yeah.
and on. And the race is on to be the one that has the first one back in a 10 or a 9, and, you're willing to spend it. I mean, turnaround time, CGC, as far as trading cards and comics, like that's the PSA of the football card world.
Well, it
Uh,
was. It is for comics, but I mean, PSA still
Yeah,
runs
just comics.
TCG.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just true. I mean, even like, and what I have is a bunch of One Piece, and that's the other thing is like they're getting ready to drop a re-release, and some of the stuff I'm sending happens to be from that series. So in general, I get what you're saying, but I guess in my case, the time is even more so because I'd rather get it and get it off before there's a whole shitload of population. While you, on the other hand, grading a similar card from a similar set or series, your shit's going to be tied up at PSA, and who knows, halfway through they're like, oh, also, by the way, it's going to take longer than we thought.
yeah, I've had the Christian McCaffrey on card order list since October, and it just went into assembly like 4 days ago.
Yeah,
Jesus
for
Christ,
sure.
dude.
Yep. So,
Yeah,
well, I mean, I get it, and I guess this just comes down to like, what's your lane, what's your avenue, and then you just gotta be educated enough to make what you think is the best decision. I mean, I think you guys would agree with that, but like, I guess to surmise, Rich, is PSA still king, or is the hobby entering into a true multi-grading area?
I think it depends on how you're selling it, right? Like eBay, eBay probably PSA is top. Flashes you don't really you don't really see just PSA. Like you don't see like you see SGC, you see Beckett. I mean, it's those three in flashes. So if I'm gonna flash a card, if my mindset is I'm gonna get it back and I'm flashing it, I just want to get it back as soon as possible. I don't care who it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if it gets a 9.5, it gets a 10, great. That's all I really care about. Um, if I'm lining it, kind of the same because SGC lines are filling. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
people are looking at the card and they're looking at the value. They're not really looking at how it's encapsulated per se.
Well, and
Um,
I wonder too, like, maybe guys are looking at, let's just say Terrell Owens downtown SGC 10. They're like, damn, it got a 10. And the line's going to be lower because comps for SGC are lower. I'm going to get in that, and then I'm going to crack that and resub or something. I guess that's a possibility too.
but I'm not jumping in anything to see CSG as far as football, just because I just in my mind, I may be wrong, dude, but in my mind, and I think this is where they got us trapped, is I'm gonna have a hard fucking time selling it. That's where my mind's at. I'm gonna have a hard fucking time selling it. And that's probably where most of the people are in their mindset is, all right, if I use them and I get it back, even if it's a 10, I'm gonna have a hard time fucking selling it. You know what I mean?
But would
Versus
you get it? Would you get an OG Pikachu?
that's different because
Mm-hmm.
that market sells under that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, whereas football doesn't, you
Microsoft
know.
Care has temporarily
oh
disabled
shit,
the option of computer for
Um,
suspicious
because I
His
activity.
logged
AI
into
girlfriend's
Facebook.
talking.
No,
but
I logged into Facebook.
to answer your question, the market will always say PSA is king because we always say PSA is king. until you have some really big guys in the hobby say fuck PSA and they're listing everything but PSA, then PSA is always going to be king, dude. There's no way to fix it. It's the majority rules on everything, right? That's anything in the world. Majority's always going to rule. And then the ones that sit out, you know, at some point, maybe 10 years from now, it might change. But are you still gonna be flipping cards in 10 years? You know what I mean? Like,
I hope not. Does
I hope.
majority rule, or does majority, is it more of a follower mindset? And you know,
follower mindset, dude.
Follower mindset chart. It churns the majority. You know, like majority tells you what quarterback's going to be hot. Who knows before the season starts what rookie is going to be the best? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no telling that. It's the same with these grading companies and anything else. It's everybody telling you what you need to do. And what happens is then that floods the market, and that's what controls the market. And then at some point, there's no changing it unless there's big change. So I feel like unless somebody huge in the let's say Golden, for instance, came out and said, okay, I'm not using PSA anymore. SGC is king. He's got a huge fucking following, so people are probably going to start using SGC, right? I mean, that's just the kind of the way the world works. Until that happens, it's PSA, man.
Or that congressperson that's looks like they're trying to there's some investigation to
the monopoly.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He put the injunction in, but I thought that was still being investigated. But I don't.
Yeah, who knows? They probably paid his ass off because these fucking politicians are criminals.
Yeah, maybe he did it to get the payoff. Who knows?
I mean, if you really,
he owns PSA, part of PSA now. It's fucking bullshit.
If we really want to talk about the nicest slabs out there, I would say Rare has the nicest fucking slab ever. But you don't see it a lot, right? You don't see it a lot because it's not popular. But
Right.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think we just go with the flow, and that's the biggest problem in cards and life and anything else. We become followers, and that's what pushes everything. You know, there's not many leaders out there. Yeah, it's hard.
When the money is over here, it's hard to break away.
You're gonna follow the money.
Yeah.
You know.
Ryan, what do you think? Is PSA still king, or is the hobby entering a multi-grading era?
For now, they're still king. Until AI can fully, prove itself that, like, what I have is actually truly a 10. And, I think that's part of the problem is, like, dude, I have a Tank Dell pink optic rookie that got gemmed, and it's full of dimples.
Right.
It's not a PSA 10. It's like a PSA probably 4.5. And it's like, that's part of it is like, you go on eBay, you buy a PSA 10, you get it in the mail, and you look at it, and you're like, well, shit. You go to a card show, and one of these big time TikTok guys, comes up and wants to look at your stuff, and he pulls that out and looks at it and goes, no, you're like, if AI is legit in card, like I said, I'm going to start using Cardly to see if my eyes are what they still are. And I have contact lenses. I don't wear old man glasses like our buddy there. Like, I think an AI 10 is going to be what people eventually are going to want, a true 10, a true gem.
Yeah.
Like Tag, AGS, anything under the collector's umbrella, I call BS on if they go AI, because they're going to write their own algorithm to their own computers. They have the money to it. They could write it to where, fuck this guy, and, keep the population control. I think Tag is honest.
Fair. Right on. Well, guys, Yeah, I mean, this is just one that I guess it's another wait and see, but I appreciate it, man. We're at the hour, and that was good, man. It's wild, man, but I definitely appreciate your expertise and like your angle from, you know, eBay to Facebook and stuff like that. It's really cool, and you've helped me out a lot, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
For me, it's just a continuation of the hobby, dude. That's all it comes down to. Like I said, like I had that Aaron Donald. I gotta see. I think it might have closed or got some extra, spots filled. But it's like showed you the comps. 80, 130, 120, 10 at 10. It's a friggin' yellow napkin patch. It's not, bicolor or three color or anything fancy. I'm okay. $20 is $20. Let the next guy make it. I'm still making 100 out of a box that cost me, triple digits.
yeah, no shit.
Ugh.
Right.
But it's free money to me because I sold the dart for what I sold it for, and it covered the cost of my gambling on them for 7 boxes.
Yeah,
Right.
fair enough.
So, I got to buy one of those, what do you call it? Car dealer pros, because I don't have time or want to, take pictures and load everything up. It'll, something that'll do it for me. That's
Yeah.
another topic for another day.
For sure. Right on.
Yeah, that's really about it for me.
Hell yeah. Well, again, thank you guys. Also, anybody listening, if you guys listen to this and you're not on Facebook, head over to the collective. When you go to join, put where it asks how you got here, man. Say you listened on the podcast, or you saw it on YouTube or some shit, or you really like Rich's beard, or you bought something off of Boz's eBay store or something. So we can see how many guys are if we're reaching anything else. I know most of the listeners are Facebook guys, but
One last thing to everybody watching and listening: Steven can't do this.
Neither can I.
Yeah, but you got a beard, Rich.
Yeah, I got a beard. That's
But
right.
nobody wants to rub your head though.
No, nobody wants to rub your head.
Hell yeah. So
Assholes.
yeah, right on. All right, guys, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna
All right.
shut her down.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. So we'll get this out when we get it out, and make sure you guys let it do its little upload thing when you hit end.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
Steve. Thanks for having me.
Peace.
Deuces, man.
Later.